Hey everybody, it's Matt from AiDIY. AiDIY.tech is the website. I'm the AI music guy. I want to talk today about the idea of possibly a future where we as AI music creators, or artists, musicians, whatever you want to call us, are producing our works for existing artists out there, big names that are out there, and what that might look like. It's not going to be a huge video, but I just thought it might be interesting to think about that sort of future. Okay, welcome back to the show. So I sort of have three different examples and ways that it could sort of play out. So I was just thinking, a lot of us aren't doing this with a huge thought of commercial as far as like making AI music. A lot of us go to watch parties, which I'll do a future thing on that video on watch parties. It's a really cool part of our community where we all sort of back each other. A lot of us just like to make these songs and have, a little bit of visibility on them and have other people appreciate it, feedback, whatever you sort of do. But I thought like there is a component of our community that would like to know some ways to make money off of this. And sometimes I'll produce a video where I show where people are, or hypothetically how they could, or where they have. And this is an example where I can show possibly a future because artists have spoken about a future where it could be seen. So let me just talk about Kid Rock, where he's just shooting the shit with Glenn Beck about, a future with AI or AI in music. And he's just talking about, let's sort of led up to this as Glenn Beck asked him, what about AI music? What do you think about that? And Kid Rock said, I don't really care. Like, I make all my money in live. But then he kind of said all this too.
But now with AI, I'm asking this guy and I'm like, so I can give you some acapellas of my vocals and you can model my voice and then you can put it on your system. And however many people want to write songs for me with my voice can write them. He's like, yep. I'm like,
that's kind of
so
cool.
I could have like 100,000 people writing. Now there's going to be some funny ones in there, like, Kid Rock,
right.
Joe Biden, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. Right. I'll laugh at those. But let's say I got 1 million people writing songs for me. If one of those person nails it and they come up with this, with this life-changing song.
It's great.
I go play it live.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not seeing the evil in here yet, the record companies and managers get all the artists up in arms about, we're not going to stop it.
Cool. So basically what he's saying there is he makes his money off live performances, and then like if he likes one of the songs that was produced, maybe he would play one of the songs. And maybe there's possibly a business there. Maybe he works with 5 or 6 ghostwriters. So he does his own stuff, but maybe there's from big data, like he's going to do a concert and he knows there's ghostwriters from that area. He knows that people in that area like a particular message that's put out to that area, and someone local that's a ghostwriter would touch on that. Whatever. There's a million different examples of that. So, Kid Rock, obviously very open in a very, shooting the shit sort of way, provides an example of how we could, as AI music creators, connect with some of these big names and put music out for them and they'd be performed live. And maybe there's money in that and maybe there's not. But I suppose if Kid Rock really likes a particular ghostwriter or several of them, the straight conclusion to that was that they'd be paying that person whatever amount. Now let's get to Japan. I did a whole segment just on this, but I wanted to give it in this context. So the Japanese pop group AKB48. Basically, there's several women that go around Japan. They choose which set of 5 women every time this really popular J-pop group is going to perform. All the songs are written by Akamoto. There was a competition. It was a blind competition put out, Akamoto versus an AI bot built off of all of Akamoto's works. The competition for the AI version of Akamoto won by about 4,000 votes. So clearly the AI version did. But then when you sort of, maybe like in Japan, they go, oh, well, okay, well, instead of like 45 women for this group, you could make 450 women and they could perform all over Japan, and you could have ghostwriters that write in the style of Akamoto or somebody else that's really popular. And you could basically say, you're singing these songs now. So maybe there's like 50 concerts a day instead of like, one every 2 or 3 days, because there's a limited amount of songs. There's a limited amount of J-pop women to perform these songs. But you could possibly be in Japan or anywhere else. It doesn't have to be limited to Japan. You could be a ghostwriter or an actual people could choose their favorite, like you're an AI music writer and you're writing for this band. It could be like Simpsons episodes. I like when Conan O'Brien writes for that thing. I like when this person does. So you could be someone's favorite AI ghostwriter, whether it's under persona or your name or whatever. But I just thought that'd be a really cool example. And it's not out of nowhere too. It's like an example that's already been created. You just got to think about it a little bit further, how that blind competition is going to affect things in the long term. So that's that. Now let's get into our third and probably most controversial example, which is Timbaland. If you're enjoying this so far, please subscribe
subscribe below, leave a comment below, but also take note of the charity I support, which is the John Fawcett Foundation. John Fawcett Foundation goes to remote villages in Indonesia to do cataract surgery. They rely 100% on donations. I'm going to be arranging a trip at some point with AI community members to go to Indonesia and see these life-changing operations done.
Timbaland's been playing with Suno and is an advisor to Suno, and he's been for, I want to say, at least a year now. So over the last few months, he's been talking about this persona that he's put out, Tata. He released it like last week. People have been waiting for it. The reviews to that have been mixed. And when I say mixed, I'm saying outwardly nobody likes it. I'm saying it's a good first effort. You know, I personally, because I'm dug into AI music pretty extensively and I know it pretty intimately, and the people that produce the AI music and the videos, I've seen much better stuff out there. And I'm not just talking about the song, I'm talking about the song and the video quality and the tools that people have to make those still doing much better. Look at something like Damp, or look at X Blue Division. Look at any of those out there that are making videos, and I think they're better than Tata. Me personally, that's what I think. But to stay on topic, let's say Tata, or let's say any major person now sees that that's a thing. You can create a persona. I can do all my live tours, whatever. I can have this persona that, or several personas that operate independent, separate company. The way I build a fan base is I rotate through ghostwriters for that persona. These are all things, you famous people out there, you can interact with your people. I mean, the sky is the limit. You could make a persona that's exactly like you. You could make it something that you've always dreamed about doing. You know, we got like Main Records. That's part of our, you know, our wider community. That's part of my Discord. By the way, check the Discord. Main Records, I sort of had him pegged as a country music only sort of guy. Main Records dabbles in other things and does really good work in other things too. So maybe you, as some superstar, there's some other things you can do besides Taylor Swift doing Taylor Swift, and you can encourage people as your fans to get in there and get involved in those personas as well. Maybe you don't want to have them write exactly for you. And I know no famous people are going to be watching this thing possibly, but that's something to think of. Maybe you're in touch with some of these people and you want to pitch them that idea. Go ahead and do it. But look, I just wanted to have this chat with you because I know some of you are thinking about the future of AI music, and I like to heavily think of the future of AI music, and I don't like to try to go too sci-fi and just imagine based off of nothing. I've had these 3 examples out there, and I've done features on all 3 of those before, and they're real world examples, things that exist now where this technology is being played with people in that space. And all it takes is a slight little nudge for it to come over to our community and for them to see the many works that we're putting out there that we could be used as examples. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.